Welcome to the Good, the Bad, and the Sequel. This is a movie podcast where we're talking sequels and we do it in two parts. The first, an interview with an actor or someone involved that made the film worth watching. And the second, a discussion of the sequel, what they got right, what they got wrong, and how it could have been better. Hope you enjoyed last week's interview with somebody from my hometown that made it all the way to Hollywood from South Plainfield, New Jersey. Stuntman Mark Riccardi. We talked about his amazing career, just the way, just coming from a small town in Jersey and just semi-pro football in Florida. Then he knew somebody from South Plainfield that was already in Hollywood, Dennis Danger Matalone, and he links up with him. He's doing stunt work for a while, back and forth, and then boom, he doubles Travolta, life-changing. He's working with him on Broken Arrow, some great stories about Howie Long, Christian Slater. So if you haven't checked it out, make sure to check it out after this week's review of a movie that Mark was getting thrown into stuff in, Die Hard 4 or Live Free and Die Hard. Yeah, before I talk about a travesty in my sequel watching, I got to introduce you to my partner in this sequel watching journey, Jamie Riccardi. Jamie, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good, Doug. How are you doing?
This is like maybe the second time I think this has happened. I think one time for Superman 2, you hyped it up so much that I felt like, oh, I really like this movie. And then disappointment. This movie, I used to love this movie.
I said you hyped this one up. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah.
You hyped it up.
But no, I'm just saying there's still qualities I like to it. But man, it drags on so long for an action movie. It shouldn't be that long. I don't think Die Hard 1, 2, or 3 are even close to this in runtime.
No. It definitely drags. When I saw that it was over 2 hours. 2 hours, 15 minutes. Here's the thing. Listen, it's Die Hard. It's Bruce Willis. Some of the good that I took out of this is that you appreciate Bruce Willis as an action star, right? He came out at a time when you have Arnold, Stallone, Van Damme, all these big guys, and Bruce Willis is like an average size guy, right? He's not a big, but he does action just like them, and if not better, right? So like for him to make it as an action star of being just like a normal looking guy, it was pretty incredible. However, I feel like okay. So there's a couple of things. One, I thought Justin Long was super annoying in this movie.
Yeah, but that's what he plays. Okay. And I think at this point in his career, I was trying to think of one movie. I could have looked it up, but I was like, this is like a few years after Dodgeball. So he and Jeepers Creepers, he's always playing that annoying guy. So they're probably just like,
but he does well. But like in this role particular, like he's just like whiny the entire time, and like he needs to eat when he almost died. It's just so stupid. But I think two of the biggest things that really ruined the movie for me, and again, it was entertaining enough because the action scenes are ridiculous. But one, the fact of what the terrorists were able to do in this movie was ridiculous. Ridiculous. Yeah. I'm like so far-fetched. And far-fetched. This movie, I think, took the John McClane character and made him like a superhero, right? If you take the first three movies, he's like just a good cop, who's just in a bad spot, and he's good at obviously what he does, but he gets hurt. He's not doing. In this movie, he's doing the most ridiculous things and stunts that it's like he's not the average guy anymore. He's not the average cop. That was what I think appealed to his character in the beginning of, the first and second one, even the third one, was that he wasn't doing anything too far-fetched. The third one, he's just driving around like crazy. And, first one, really, some of the shooting and all that was a little ridiculous.
Some crazy jumps in it. Yeah, but you're right. This one, it jumps the shark.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, like the first time we see him, well, let's go from the beginning.
Before,
right.
I would say this has got to be, now we've watched a lot of far-fetched movies. This might be the most, one of the, up there in the top three, most ridiculous, far-fetched stuff that will never happen. They really took it to a whole nother level.
Yeah, and we'll talk about some of the terrible, like, plot hole. I don't know if they're called a plot hole, but just lines that made zero sense. And yeah, no, we'll get into it. So, and again, these movies, any movie about hacking, I don't know, the latest movie that came out that involved hacking, when are they going to know that? That's not how that's not how it looks. I know it looks cool to see like the inner workings of a computer, but it's like, it's not really what it looks like.
No. And again, you're talking about like this kid, the villain, who was able to hack into everything. There wasn't one thing that this kid couldn't hack into. Like it was. I mean, I don't know. It made the FBI look so dumb in this movie.
Yeah.
Like they looked pitiful. Like it's just ridiculous. So yeah, okay.
Were you jealous of Justin Long's like rollable keyboard?
It's ridiculous. It just
he takes it up.
Okay, somehow that stayed intact the entire movie when he's getting blown around. Like, I mean, like the fact that it's still like it should be in pieces by the amount of like like action. But okay, at the start of the movie, which I thought was pretty cool, was when you see the 20th Century Fox logo kind of get hacked into, right? Like, like normally, like the movie doesn't start until after that disappears, and they started the movie like right there. So that I thought that was a pretty cool effect. I thought that was a good start.
I think that's pretty rare. I feel like that's like one of those
it is.
emblems that you don't see things messed around with.
No, you don't. Cool. I guess I'm saying so. It was very rare to see. So I'm thinking like, all right, it's pretty creative, and then we get going, which is a little ridiculous. But go ahead.
We see Maggie Q. I love, and I know I talked about this terrible first date that I had. But for me, it was great because I got to see Balls of Fury, a movie that I still love to this day. Maggie Q, that's like one of her first movies, and that's probably like the year before this. So she was probably already doing action because even in that comedy, she was doing like some kicks and stuff. But she's so badass, man. Like she's underrated.
When she fights him, that was awesome. Like, and she's smoking hot. I mean, she is like ridiculous. So, it's funny when I saw that she was in this movie and I started watching it, and it took me 2 days to watch this movie. I'm like, I got to start watching more Maggie Q movies. I threw on this other movie that I talked about, and it was one of the worst movies I've ever seen. So like
that choice,
but she also didn't do any action in the movie. So it was all about
that was a real acting. There was a real story.
Yeah,
she has some great movies. She has a new one out. I want to watch. It's like a bachelorette party. And she's like ex-military, and like these guys take over the house, and they don't know. They think it's like, hey, it's just girls partying, and she kills them.
So it's like Home Alone at a bachelor party.
Yeah, bachelor party. Yeah,
that sounds pretty. Bachelorette
free
party.
Plug, Maggie Q. Come on the pod. That'd be cool. So now we get the craziest thing. So I don't know how hackers work. I feel like hackers are always very like mysterious, right? They have code names. They don't want people to know where they live. Somehow Kevin Smith has power. We'll get Kevin Smith is the only person in the mid-Atlantic area that knows, hey, let me get a generator. Only guy.
Okay. I mean, okay. The fact that they were able to find his house from where up in the sky. Okay, well, we're gonna get to that part also, but do you want to call him Kevin Smith or Warlock?
We'll go Warlock. I do love him. He's great in this movie.
Yeah,
and it's so weird. This is like 15 years ago, and he looks older now because like when people lose weight sometimes, and like
he does. But
older.
What's funny though, I don't think the role he played was such a stretch to how he really is.
Oh, that's him.
Because he's such a comic book Star Wars nerd, and like I think that was like a great. I mean, I thought he was pretty funny in the role. Like he did a good job. But yeah, that's him. I think that's him in real life. Outside of the hacking.
Totally. So back to the hackers. That like we were just talking about with him. It's like, okay, he's very reclusive, secret, use code names, Warlock. I don't think they would accept a computer or like a hard drive from whoever they're working for. Why wouldn't the government be like, yeah, take this computer and it's tracking everything? They're able to give them a computer that has C4 attached to it.
Again, I'm not a hacker. I don't know a thing about how they do this stuff. I I can't imagine it being as easy. They made it look. I mean,
Yeah,
literally,
no, I don't think
it just
you can
seemed like
make it that a keyboard, you hit a key, if you hit the space bar a few times, it's going to make a detonator go off. I don't know. I think computers are smart, but I don't know if that's the thing.
controlling traffic lights. I mean, it just so I apparently I would think if you're a hacker, you're able to hack like a specific type of like computer or mainframe or something. I didn't know that if you're a hacker, you could pretty much hack anything. I would think like every system is different, right? I mean, like, so, if you're getting to one system, doesn't mean you automatically get into the next one, right? And in this movie, they were able to hack everything just by a couple of, like, playing around with the keyboard for a little bit, and they were able to get wherever they wanted to go, they could hack into.
Yeah. And the car scene, when it's already gridlock traffic, and all they do is go like green light, red light, and people start flying. Like, it's not like you drive that fast if you see a green light. Like,
okay, and which caused major traffic jams everywhere. Yet, when Bruce Willis is driving, every time he's driving, there's no one on the road. There's no traffic.
Yeah.
There's no like cars stuck. He was able to get anywhere he wanted to, and he was driving with no lights in the middle of the night. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Oh man! So now we cut to after like we show the FBI offices right after like the first explosion of the house, and the guy's like yelling at his roommate, "Hey, did you touch my computer?" And then he hits the button, it explodes, and then we get what's his name for Fast and the Furious. He's in this movie.
Well,
what's his name? Han?
You're asking the wrong person.
He was the guy that was like, "Oh, dude, he's dead in the timeline."
Oh, you're talking about in Tokyo Drift?
No. Yeah, because he's in Tokyo Drift, and people are like, "Oh no, but in the timeline, he's still alive."
Oh yeah.
Whatever that dumb thing. But yeah, so he plays another FBI guy, and the main FBI guy got in a ton of things. I couldn't remember his name.
He plays an FBI guy in every movie, every TV show and every movie. And again, he doesn't even look. He's an older guy who's small. He's like a small older guy. Yet they always cast him as an FBI guy, like in everything. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah. Oh, go ahead. No, I was saying like, which I think is weird because if you look at the rest of the FBI, they're all like young, in shape, and all, and then you have this like little old man who's always part of the crew.
Yeah. Did you notice? I think they only say it once when they locate McClane. So again, he's a New York cop, right? Because they say that later. The daughter says that. New York cop, and he's at Rutgers in Camden. Because the guy goes, "Hey, I'm checking your load jack. You're in Camden right now." What is he going to do if they call him on the police call? He's not getting there in time.
But maybe there's another Camden because he somehow gets to Washington to pick up the kid.
Well,
right?
no, Camden's close. No, that's I mean, Camden's closer. That's like down by Philly. Okay. I'm saying he's a cop in New York.
Oh yeah,
just like stalking his daughter at Rutgers Camden.
But let me ask you this: so this is the fourth movie now. Mm-hmm. He's basically saved the world 3 times or whatever, and he's still a regular cop.
I know, right? Shouldn't he be
He should be. First of all, he should be in the FBI. Like why are they not drafting him to be something bigger? He's still doing traffic tickets. Like this is the guy that took on terrorists 3 different times. Like things that the military haven't done. He solved everything. He saved everybody. Yet he's still writing traffic tickets. Like or you would think he's also now. I don't know how. I mean, obviously it's years apart because his daughter is older. You'd think he'd want to retire by now. Like he escaped death at least 20 times in all 3 movies. Like he should have died at least 20 times, right? And he still wants to do this. Like
he's got to do it. It's funny you mentioned that. Like when we dealt with in Lethal Weapon 3, when they get in trouble and they get demoted to be like traffic cops, you know, like these guys, McClane, he's known everywhere. Like no joke, if that really happened in real life, he wouldn't be able to be a cop. People would be like wanting to shake his hand, take pictures with him.
Correct.
He'd be a legend. Hey, Nakatomi Plaza, I know you.
And again, you don't think the CIA or FBI would say, "Hey, listen, this guy's way too good to be a cop. We need him on our team." I mean, like, no, No, he's still like in a beat up car, writing tickets. And in 4 movies, I think his wife wanted to leave him right in the first movie, or were they having issues in the first movie?
Well, they were already, yeah.
Okay, right. And they got back together, and now they're having issues again. Clearly, his job is interfering in his family life. So why is he still a cop?
That's the crux of it. And I think they were already like kind of fighting because when she took the job out in L.A., because that first movie set in L.A., so that's pretty far,
Yeah.
some distance.
So he can't go with her?
And he chose not to. He didn't transfer.
I know.
Because his kids were out there too. So he was by himself being this cop, working 18-hour shifts. Yeah.
He's an awful dad. Awful dad. I mean, what he does in the beginning...
Unless terrorists involved, then he's
that's
the best.
That's a different story. Yeah, well, true. That is true. Yeah, because at least you'll be safe. But what he does in the beginning of the movie is so creepy. And because I analyzed it a little bit, I'm like, all right. Okay. So, I mean, that's the next scene, right? With his daughter?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So the daughter, we see the daughter, making out with this guy, and he's getting a little frisky, and she keeps telling him no, and he's trying more. And then her dad comes over and, basically pulls a kid out of almost pulls the kid out of the car. So that means the father obviously tell the daughter, but he's watching her making out.
Yeah.
The whole time. How weird is that? Like, he's watching the guy grab her chest. Like, he's watching all this. Like, you're watching your daughter make out. That's like creepy. So, and he's far enough that she doesn't see him. So, he's sitting there with binoculars. And he's you're watching these two, like, teenagers make out. How creepy is that? Like,
could you imagine if he got caught and some cop knocks on, hey, what are you doing? Hey, beat it, buddy.
No, it's my daughter.
Yeah. and then he hands him the binoculars.
And then the other cop says, wait, hold on, wait. But I mean, like, think about that. So he literally, because he got there right after the kid was, not accepting no. So he watched the entire time.
That's sick. That's sick.
So weird. And
so
you got to assume it's not the first time he's done that.
Oh, 100%. And the fact that they weren't shocked that he was in Camden. When the guy said, hey, we got LoJack on here. Did I install that? No, we did. It was like, wow, does this guy even work? Maybe he doesn't work anymore. That'd be the best thing. They're like, man, he's a hero. He's just getting drunk at the local bar. And we just give him a cop car. Because he never has to go in the office. He's just following her, living in the parking lot.
Why'd they put LoJack on there? Because he kept following his daughter around and watching her make out. Okay.
Dad, are you going to be there on my 7th birthday? I can't make it. Oh, but Dad, I was kidnapped by terrorists. I'm there. Like, Neeson and Taken did both. Yeah. He got her the singing lessons. He gives her whatever she needs.
No, he was a good dad.
Go to France and beat the shit out of him. Yeah.
Right.
Does it all.
Yeah. And then you have the boyfriend who's talking smack to Bruce Willis.
Weird.
Like, I mean, like, okay. If you're that kid and you just got caught by the father.
Well, no. Remember, he starts talking shit first. Not knowing it was the dad. Because she called him John. So then it was like going back and forth. She probably thought like it was maybe a jaded ex. Maybe that's why he was stepping up to him. But yeah.
A jaded ex. He looks like he's 50 compared to her 16.
Come on.
All right. Well.
Love is love, right?
Okay, even so, wouldn't you like step on the gas? You got a crazy guy coming to the window.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I would like get out of there as soon as like, yeah, okay. All right.
So now he has the task of picking up Matthew Farrell, who's like another hacker on the list, because just before this, another guy blows up. So they're trying to figure out all these people that are involved. So he has to go to like Baltimore, which is crazy, right? He's a New York cop parked in Camden, and they want to send him to Baltimore.
He's got a big territory.
To bring to the FBI? Oh, where are the FBI? Where are the FBI?
Wait,
in Baltimore.
But like they don't have anyone else. They have to send like a street cop. They couldn't send an FBI agent. Like they couldn't send the military. Like you send a street cop who doesn't even cover that territory.
Yeah.
Hey, that's who you send.
This is really important. We gotta save him. What should we do? Send the guy that's down the street? 2-hour away guy. Give him 2 hours. Maybe he can keep hacking. We can track
Okay.
him. Like that's like the biggest plot. That ends the movie.
Okay.
Why couldn't he have just been in Baltimore? Put his daughter at some friggin' have his daughter go to a school in DC. Simple.
Wait.
No.
Wait, that ends the movie. How about the fact that? How about call a closer cop? Like, why reach out to him?
Oh, no, that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so
Yeah.
put him closer. Have his daughter go to Georgetown.
No, not
He's doing the
him.
same thing.
Oh, you're talking about okay. I got.
I'm saying to rewrite it so it makes sense instead of like, we're gonna believe that. Again, we know that he's a super cop, but they're gonna have to choose him from all the way. Like that's ridiculous.
Yeah, but I don't see. But I don't think they were reaching out to him because he's a super cop to do it.
Like, he's the closest cop. There's no cops in Delaware.
I guess not. I don't know.
No cops.
Well, there's not a lot of crime in Delaware.
Yeah, it's so small. Sorry, Delaware. So now I do love, again, the music in this when he's hacking. It's like so like that era, like the couple of years after I was out of high school, like just so ridiculous. And then I love that McClane knocks on the door. He says, "Oh, I'm not Matthew Farrell." And then that nerdy guy from across the hall.
But the way he's like, he's such a wise guy. Like literally, I mean, he I don't know. Like he thought he was going to get away with it the way he was talking to Bruce Willis. Showed his badge. I get it. Showed everything. But like, I guess in his case though, like he's not used to, or maybe the cops always go there. Like, I mean, like he was so like, I don't know. From the start, I didn't like him. I just feel like he was just, I don't know, annoying.
Well, the whole thing was just old and young. It was like, this is where Bruce Willis, I don't know if there's movies before this, like action movies that he was in around this time. I don't know. I think this is when he went back to doing like more of these type of movies.
Well, he did. I mean, he did Hudson Hawk.
No, that was way before that. What are you talking about? I'm talking about like in 2007. I'm saying this is when he turned into an old man. Like I'm saying, they were playing him as the old cop.
I got you.
Because all the jokes were old and young.
Right.
Oh, what do you mean? I don't know how to use this. It was all that kind of bit.
Well, that obviously because he had all young people. But here's the thing. The way this is, I think, another big problem why I don't like Justin Long. So, if put yourself in his shoes, you go through what he goes through in the first 10 minutes between the machine guns and all that stuff. That would take me a while to recover from.
Yeah,
I think it would take I think anybody, like you're going to be so freaked out, like, and within minutes he's acting normal, and then another thing happens, he's freaking out, and then he acting normal again. Like you're not used to this kind of like you sit behind a desk and you play computer games, like so the minute you see you get shot at once, that's traumatic. It's going to take a while to recover from. And he doesn't seem to it seems to fade away every time, and it's like he's totally fine with it. Like that would never happen.
Yeah, no, he's definitely way too calm. But you know what? I would go nuts right away. Again, is this where the movie already went nuts? Again, we already proved the part of the movie that it shouldn't even be at this point because he shouldn't have been the closest cop. But when he takes when the shots start coming in, and he takes the fire extinguisher and throws it down the hallway and shoots it, I'm like, wow, this is a way to start a movie.
No, I'll give it that. The action scenes are like that. I mean, like I think it's a little too much talking in between, like a little too much, which makes it longer. But yeah, okay, you're a cop. I can't imagine, like, especially with machine guns and all that stuff. Are you going to be able to think that fast? Say, hey, you know what? I'm going to grab this fire extinguisher. I'm going to hit it on the first shot. It's going to explode. It's going to make it like I don't know, like if that's possible to be able to think that fast and that create, because he does it throughout the movie. Like the creativity of how he's going to get out of this jam. He's always able to think like 5 seconds before like he has to, right? Like he's able to get to that point where it's like, if I don't make a decision now, I'm going to die. And somehow he comes up with a plan to get out of that situation. I don't know if your brain can work like that.
Yeah. But all I know is from watching this movie, not like I'm ever gonna have a gun and have guys attack me. But if I saw a fire extinguisher, I'm telling you, I really hope I'm never in these situations, or even like just really anything that has to do with that. Because my brain will go into a memory bank of movie scenes, and that's how I would try to do it. And like the bad guy would be like, what the hell are you doing? I would shoot the fire extinguisher, bullet ricochet back, get me.
Or I could imagine you like trying to shoot the fire extinguisher, but you're missing every single time, and you're focused so much on, but you're focused so much on the fire extinguisher, but you're not looking at the guys that are right in front of you that you easily could have probably like shot, but you're shooting all your bullets, and then you run out of bullets, and then now you're done.
Yeah, that'd be funny. The guy's creeping up, and he's like standing right next to me, like with the gun to my head while I'm firing my last shot at the fire extinguisher.
Well, I think if it was a comedy, you would see them like leaning against the wall, like waiting for you to be done shooting at the fire extinguisher.
Yeah.
Like
looking at their watch, checking the time. Yeah. So, and again, it gets ridiculous even more throughout this whole movie. I think it like almost just keeps going, and I think the end of the movie is ridiculous. But
you know what?
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think it gets to a point of like each action scene gets the next level up.
Yeah.
Like each one gets higher and higher. There is a middle one that gets, I mean,
oh
ridiculous.
Yeah, that middle one is probably the craziest thing I've ever seen.
It is. But then,
the fact that he takes the fridge, when he takes the fridge and he dumps it down to block the door, and his back's against the door, and guys are machine guns are shooting the fridge. Fridges are made out of like nothing. Like, but again, I can go take a knife and put it through my refrigerator. And this guy's taking bullets behind it.
But again, if he didn't do that, he was dead within 5 seconds. He thought of, all right, really, he did that right before they started shooting. Like he has like a window of 5 to 10 seconds to do something, and then like all hell breaks loose. So like if he didn't do that, he would have died. But yes, he's hiding behind there. There's no way those bullets are going through. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
But like we just said, you see that scene I raise you, him punching through the wall and bringing a guy's neck through and snapping it.
Exactly where the guy was, too.
Insane.
Exactly where the guy was. And, okay, so, I mean, this fight is all inside and then it leads outside. Bullets everywhere. There wasn't one neighbor looking out the window. There wasn't one person outside. There wasn't one person.
Sirens,
nothing. No one. There was nobody around. Like, like unless like this is an area where they always hear gunshots. So like, it's another day, another day in the neighborhood, kind of thing. And maybe that's why they didn't look. But I'm like, literally, like you would think that people would be hanging out, like what's going on? No, nothing. There wasn't anyone on the streets. No one heard the machine guns going.
Yeah. No, there's some rough neighborhoods in Baltimore. So yeah, maybe they're just used to it. Maybe it's like listening to
it's another day.
Yeah, white noise. It's like you just
I can't sleep until I start hearing the gunshots. And then, there we go. All right, honey, I'm tired now. I can do it.
It's fire the Uzi into there. Get the baby to sleep. So I do love, again, how bad henchmen are. They're going one by one. One goes in, gets the neck snapped. The other guy's waiting there. But I do like the Terminator statue, like a little homage. I wonder if somebody that did this movie had any affiliation with those movies.
Sure.
But that was pretty cool, the way it just rolled off and then hit the keyboard.
Well, it could have been like like how what movie was it? Last Action Hero. They had, and same thing with Tango and Cash. Rambo. Well, he made fun of himself in that one. But I mean, like, so I think at the time, those three guys were the biggest stars out there. So I think they probably, I bet you if you watch some other movies, you'll see like little jabs here and there.
Oh, they were buddies. They all invested in Planet Hollywood.
In the Planet Hollywood.
It was them three. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I think that was cool, like the way that went off. And dude, there's a stuntman in there. The stuntman that was the henchman.
The one that's jumping across buildings.
Oh my God. No, that guy's crazy. But no, the stuntman in the explosion scene. He is
Went flying.
Holy
God.
Yeah.
No,
the sniper guy. You're talking about the sniper guy, right? With the way he's
ridiculous.
Jumping from building to building like a monkey.
Come on. I mean, and like I would think if, again, it's not something that he probably does, often. So like if you're gonna attempt to jump across a building, you're not just gonna get up and run, like you're gonna eye it. You're gonna look how far. You're gonna take it to. You might do like a running start, like see how fast you can get. Like you're not just gonna get up and just start running across buildings, right? I think like and like he's done it like many times. And listen, the parkour in this movie, like that one guy at the end, is ridiculous. Like he looked like he was Tarzan at the end of the movie. The way he was swinging around, like it was so ridiculous.
What do you mean in the ice dome? Whatever that was.
Oh my gosh! No, was so ridiculous. Like so ridiculous. Okay.
But I love when we do find out who the main bad guy is, and it is a guy that at this point, like Deadwood was definitely on already, right? I feel like that was like a mid 2000s.
Either Deadwood,
that was before he was big too.
Yes.
Justified was a little bit after this. I'm guessing.
It was. Well, he made it. I think he made a few of them like Go. It was probably before this.
Well, yeah, it was. Right? Yeah, Scream. I think it was Go, Scream 2. Yeah, and then there was like that perfect not the perfect getaway.
He's awesome. Like he's. I mean,
Girl
to me,
Next
like
Door. Timothy Olyphant. That's the name.
The girl to me, the girl next door is almost the same role he played in Go. Like it was the same kind of character.
Yeah,
totally. But he plays a good bad guy. Like this was a little different stretch for him, because he was like a nerdy bad guy. You can see like he was definitely afraid of Bruce Willis the entire movie. Like you see that. I don't think he's a gun guy, even though he does some things later on. But he's a nerdy guy. He's the one that he's like the top hacker. So like but he's obviously a super genius in this movie because he's able to But that's the thing. He's supposed to be like the genius who created this program, and he's like, but the kid with him was doing everything.
Yeah. The kid with him that looks just like the kid from Friday the 13th remake that we just did. That sequel.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
He looked like the opening guy, the weed guy with the walkie.
Yeah.
Maybe just stereotyping. They look like just stoner white kids in glasses, but they looked exactly the same. But you're right. Yeah, no, he did everything. But Timothy Olyphant in this movie, one thing that you always appreciate about a bad guy, whether they're good or great or not so good, is the dialogue back and forth with the hero. And that was really good. Like, I didn't even need, even though I didn't like it at all, even if there was an epic fight scene or something, then I'd be like, all right. But dude, like just their dialogue back and forth, when he's on the phone with the daughter, that's creepy. Like really evil.
He's good at that, like that kind, like he's good at dialogue like that. Like his roles, like even again in Go, in Boy Next Door, like or Girl Next Door, he has that dialogue. You don't see too much action with him, but it's always that back and forth dialogue. Like in Justified, he always had the dialogue with the villain. Like he always, and he's good at that. Like he's just like he's a smart ass, but like smart, like really smart. So like, no, I've watched Justified. I watched Deadwood. Like he's great in everything he does. He really is.
You mean Justified? The one villain was Billy Downtown from Major League 3?
Yes.
Downtown. Right, I think his name is Billy.
He's also awesome, by the way.
Goggins, man.
Oh my gosh, he's the best.
Great. So now we meet like Olyphant's henchman, and one of them is the guy that I would love to interview. And we went back and forth through email since like 2020. Just haven't connected, but he's in a ton of stuff. He's actually in a commercial right now. I just saw him because I was thinking about him when I was like getting ready to watch this movie. But he plays like Charlie Day's creepy uncle on Always Sunny. He's a good hacker. And then, like you said, the main guy, like the main hacker for Oliphant, that guy was pretty good too. Like a good actor in the movie.
No, he is. But so see, that's the thing. Like, so this kid is that good that he because Oliphant really didn't tell him to do anything, like how to do anything. This kid knew how to do everything.
Oh, he just told him what to do. Like he didn't give him directions. He was just like, do this. Why are you taking so long?
So why is he working for him? Like he could do this on his own. Like he doesn't need Oliphant. Like to me, like it was like, I don't know, like he's just as smart. I mean, I think there were two. I think what the kid was lacking is the guts that Oliphant had to do certain things. Right.
Yeah.
The gas line and all that kind of stuff. So I think that's the only thing. Like, I don't think the kid is a real. I don't think he's a villain.
Oh
well, but I don't think he's a villain. Like, I just think he's just he's just a bad guy. Like, I don't think he's a villain. the kid. Like, I don't think he could do that on his own. That's probably why he's with them.
Maybe if he survived, he would have had the opportunity to become a villain one day.
True. But okay, I mean, like, so as a hacker, you look at a blueprint and you can figure everything out of what everything is by being a hacker. Like, I think they give hackers in this movie way too much credit.
They make them geniuses like they're Albert Einstein.
They do.
Every movie. It's like Justin Long, whipping out that rubber keyboard that he has, and he's like throwing it out.
Listen,
and he's like, "Give me 10 seconds." I'm like, "Come on!"
But this is what they do in every movie. Like on Smallville, they had this one girl that was hacking everything. She was a student in high school, but she was able to hack into everything. You have 24, that the one girl that was always able to hack into everything. Like when they I think they make hackers like they're on steroids when it comes to movies and TV. That like in real life, they're really, I mean, they're good, obviously hackers, but there's no way they're able, if they're going to hack into, like say a computer system at AT&T, that's all they can do. They're not going to be able to transfer that into traffic lights and, or go to another, like FBI, like it's like, I think they're only able to do one, area, and here they're on steroids. Like they literally, I don't think there was any area that was untouchable to him. Like anytime Bruce Willis went somewhere, he was able to. The guy was able to hack into everybody's TV.
I know,
and broadcast on every channel, not even one channel, all the channels. Like, yeah,
and just the fact that, like, again, Justin Long never reveals what he did to be part of this plan. All the Warlock says is like, "Man, this is probably part of your code." So maybe it was just like a big project. He'd like a section of it, but they want to kill him so bad, like the traffic thing, like, "Hey, where is he?" And then like he's already going to DC because they want to go to the NSA guy or whatever it was. And just that whole thing, those act, just silly.
You know what? You just bring up a good point that I didn't even think about, and maybe it's because I missed it or just wasn't paying attention. But what were they after Justin Long for? Like, what did he hack that was so important to the government and so important to the bad guys? Like, what was
it must have been part of the plan, but it makes no sense. Is the plan that they ended up having was
but he's not connected to that. He's not connected to Timothy Olyphant and all that stuff. So his hacking had nothing to do with what they're doing.
Yeah,
but there's something. Like,
he worked with Maggie Q because he recognized Maggie Q's voice because she was. Yeah, they were using hackers and then killing them.
Okay.
Because remember when he hears her voice, he's like, "I know that is. I don't know what her name was. It wasn't like Black Widow, but
I thought he just knew her voice from like Twitch or something, like like nerds that got together in like a chat room or something.
Twitch was not around 2007, but yeah,
all right.
No, that's how he knew that. And then,
I gotcha.
but they never explained to us, like as the audience, like what he really knew. He kind of like was going to open up about it, but then nothing really came from it. But
see, okay, but it seemed like Timothy Olyphant and the kid that he was with, would they need the other hackers for? Because he's the one that created the program. Timothy Olyphant.
I think they do a bunch of the pieces. So maybe they had somebody hack into the traffic system and then give them how to do it. Somebody do something else. Because what is kind of cool about this movie is you had Justin Long that, he's obviously a good hacker, but like for us, he was the guy telling us what they were going to do, or telling McClane, like, "Hey, this is what their plan is." And he was talking about like the fire sales shut down the world, thinking like, "Oh, they want to raise chaos." But I guess they sort of want to do that, but it was all about all the data that gets, which that's a real thing. That's wild. They sent all the financial data to one like server.
I can't imagine that being real. That seemed because even the FBI guy was like shocked they put it all in one place. So, which that guy did a lot of stuff too. The
Our
main
buddy
FBI
Tim
guy.
Russ? Well, the main FBI guy, but the other guy, Tim Russ. Tubik, our buddy.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about the director though. That guy, that's the guy from Training Day. You ever see Training Day?
Oh yeah.
He's the gang leader. That
really?
puts Ethan Hawke in. He was going to shoot him at the end of the movie. You know what I'm talking about? He's wearing the.
Oh yeah.
That's him. Isn't that crazy?
Oh my God!
I never knew that. And like because he was also on like the Walking Dead spinoff and all that stuff. And then like someone told me, and I couldn't believe it because that role was the gang leader role in Training Day was insane. That's him.
Oh my God, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
because Tim was because there was that one scene when they were talking about it, and he was like, "It's above your pay grade."
Yeah,
And,
yeah,
dude, that was a good scene. But no, at this point, this is where it's like Matt Farrell's like, "Oh man, they're controlling the traffic, shutting down everything." And then then they start manipulating the stock market, and somehow, some way, they get out of that ginormous traffic jam. Nobody's moving at all, and he gets Farrell to Bowman, to Deputy Director Bowman.
So, and I think he asked to stop for snacks multiple times. And like, he asked when he was at. Snacks. Like, is it like, what is he, 5? Like, he just almost died, but he's thinking about eating right now. And he does it in the car with Bruce Willis when they're talking normal after all that. Then he even asked at the FBI headquarters, do you have any snacks here? It was so important for him to get snacks.
Yeah. Well, it's not funny. They wanted him there so bad. We got to get Farrell down here. And then they're like ignoring him. Sorry, there's all this other stuff going on. Like, wouldn't they like put 2 and 2 together? Like, hey, hackers are exploding. And the one hacker that's left on your list is alive and he's here. Oh, let's ignore him to figure out what else is going on.
Not only that, wouldn't you put him in another room while you're discussing what's going on? Like, they literally are talking plans in front of him. Who is a hacker?
He could work for him, yeah.
Not work for him. He could work against him, too.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. I'm saying he could work for the villains,
right?
Yeah.
So they're gonna, and then they're talking in front of Bruce Willis. Like, I would think that the FBI, when they're having their discussions and plans and whatever what they're doing, they kind of do it privately. They're not gonna just do it in front of a cop they just met and a hacker. Like the hacker's probably the last person to hear what's going on. And clearly, do you really want to show that you have no clue what's going on right now? Because they look so like they look so clueless the entire movie, and you're showing this in front of a cop. It's like ridiculous.
And at this point, this is when the director, hey, do you know these guys? There was a photo of all the hackers. And he's like, oh no, don't know them. And then they're like, oh, here's this local FBI agent that's going to take you guys somewhere. And then that's when Bruce Willis is like, hey, you knew those guys. Right. Why didn't you tell them the truth? And then this is where it's like, you hear Maggie Q's voice. And this is when he hears it. Like, oh, I know who that is. And the agent takes him like underground. And you could tell like, oh, did you think that guy was in on it?
I did. I totally did. Even when he was driving, I thought he was in on it. Like when he was going, like until like, even when he started calling, because they didn't see where he was calling to at first. I thought he was calling the villains, like pretending, I did. But of course, he gets hit. Like no one else in the truck gets hit, but he gets hit.
Yeah. But man, dude, that scene. So this is the craziest. Again, this is where it jumps. And again, what's crazy is what every time, like it just keeps going up. We're going up the roller coaster. Click, 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 click. Like right now, when they shut off all the lights in the tunnel, all the lights, and then what's the craziest part is it's already dark, right? The lights end where they are. So when it gets dark, it's the last light is them. So you got to think the car that for some reason is still going 60 was in the dark for a while, did not hit the brakes, and they crashed. It was crazy.
Yeah, that was pretty insane. Again, I think that's a decision that the hacker kid would not be able to do, where Oliver was able to do it. So, but let me ask you this: like, clearly, there's tons of chaos going on. There's been a lot of deaths. Where's the military? It seems like there's nobody around. Like, there's no FBI agents doing anything. Like, it seems like the headquarters or whatever, it was only a small little portion of the FBI agents. Because the rest of the movie, you don't see anybody. The only time you see any kind of military is at the end with the 4 helicopters that don't do anything. Just fly around.
What a dumb scene that was. Give me 4 helicopters. Oh, we don't have any. Go get them. Okay. And then they have 4.
But this whole time, there's no agents anywhere throughout the movie. There's no agents. There's no military. Like, McClane's on his own the entire time.
Yeah. How about, so how does he trick her? The old, and I feel like this is another movie. I can't think of it off the top of my head. When he goes, "Hey, how you doing over there? How's your day going? Hey, you don't get a 587 in progress." Oh,
No, he said
587?
all those naked. He said something like all those naked people or something
No,
like
that's
that.
what he said a 587, and she was like, "Oh, Roger that." And he's like, "Oh yeah, you're a lot of those naked old women running around or whatever." Yeah. But dude, and then he goes, dude, and then Oliphant's like, "Get me on there." And he's talking to him, and he goes, "Oh, Detective John McClane." He like hacks in, he could see him, and then he's like, "Oh, you know what? We can give you a lot of money if you just drop us off, Matt Farrell." He's like, not interested, jerk off. And then they start wiping out his 401k. They're like, and take away all your money.
But like, he mention that they know that his wife and his daughter, like they mentioned they so like he didn't seem phased about that. Like
he doesn't care.
He should have been like, all right, you know what? Leave my family out of this. Let's talk or something. Like he just kept going on. Like he did not feel throughout the movie. He doesn't feel that threatened that they basically could kill his family. And like, you know,
and
like
they have his daughter, and he still is talking shit.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like he just like,
yeah.
And you know, like I like how he says, "Well, you would have killed her already," but you know what though? Doesn't mean that they're not gonna chop her hand off just to prove a point or something. Like he's not worried of like some kind of harm come to his daughter at all. In fact, he's pissing them off, make them almost like want to like, you know what? Like that just shows you how bad villains they are. Because if they really wanted to get under his nerves, they would have chopped the finger off or something. Like something to say, something. Hey, we mean business.
Bad guys should start doing that. All bad guys, you know?
They should.
Start with the pinky.
Fingers.
Knock it right off.
So you don't really need it.
Oh, no.
Like,
all the pinkies.
If you had to get rid of a finger, what finger would you get rid of? I mean, if you had to. Although the pinky could be like part of the anchor. Like it's part of like, you know, I would say like, you might need
I'd
the
probably
pinky.
have to go ring finger.
Well, yeah, but then you can't show that you're married.
I'll put it on the other. I'll put it on a different finger.
Yeah, you know, maybe ring finger. I guess that would probably be the best one. Pinky, I think he's.
Because you couldn't get rid of the middle because it's
more
right
valuable
in between.
than you think. Well,
I agree.
You also
pinky toe too.
Yeah, but I also think the middle finger, like you still want to be able to give the finger. So I mean, you know, you got to hold on to that one. I think you're right. I think the ring finger is probably the most useless.
Get rid of
rings. Yeah.
Oh, that guy! Don't get rid of my ring finger. It's my favorite. And then who's the smart guy who could still use his hands in the right way? So that helicopter just starts shooting because Oliphant's like, okay, McClane, and then it goes insane. Dude, the fact that he knows to hit that fire extinguisher.
I mean, come on.
And it goes up and it floods the helicopter.
I mean, the fire hydrant.
Fire hydrant. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I mean, like, and it. First of all, would it go that high? To like, and to really like, listen, the timing that he does on all these things, like work out, like he's done it before.
Yeah,
like he's done. There's no way that would happen.
Yeah, the fact that he even tried it. I always think of movies when people hit their car with those, and their car gets stuck on them, and then they're like cars floating or getting knocked over.
No, and it looks like it sprouts out like a fountain.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not going to shoot up and like flood a helicopter.
This one was this was a powerful one. He knew which one to do. Oh my god, dude!
And again, there's another time I said, "How are the streets empty?" Again, the streets are all empty. Like there's no cars. Somehow he has the full road to drive throughout the whole movie. There's never a car on the road.
Yeah. And then this part, dude, when he's like, he looks injured, like he's dying, because this is when him and Farrell get out of the car. And this is where you see like not bad CGI, but you could see that it was definitely green screen. But like when they run just behind the pole at the time in that car, again, the guy's going 65 miles an hour, flips and crashes into the pole right near him. But then he's like injured, and he's like talking to himself, and he's muttering, and all the while in his head, he's going to take a car and shoot the moon, like in Dukes of Hazzard, into a helicopter.
First of all, it wasn't even a ramp. It was like a column. It was like a column.
It was like a toll booth almost, and it brought, I thought it would just get stuck.
It shot up like it was a ramp. Like, I mean, like, you know what? Again, show that he's human. Just like, all right, I'm going to try this and let it just crash. And like you said, get stuck there. Okay. You tried something. First of all,
that would be great if there was a movie. That's our spoof action movie. We're going to add that to our ideas that we have over the years. But that's one. You have to get them to do something and just terrible crash. Like,
yes. They shoot the fire extinguisher. It just spins, but nothing comes out. It's so stupid. Like,
but that'd be like Super Dave, like Super Dave as an action
100%
movie.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, I think they made a Super Dave movie. It was probably like an ABC movie or something. I'm
I'm saying like as doing all action stuff and it backfires.
But so like this alone, like the car's going pretty fast because the car was able to shoot up again the toll booth, go into a helicopter. If you jumped out of a car going that fast,
oh my god,
you're breaking bones, you're cracking your skull, you're done. There's no way you're gonna get up and run around. He literally just gets up again.
Yeah,
they made, like I said, they made him a superhero. This was the biggest thing that's happened to him in this movie, and he was fine.
Yeah, you'd have serious road rash. He's fine. He has a few cuts,
road rash. I don't think you would have any skin left at all.
Yeah.
His face would be mangled.
But Farrell's line to him is great. You just killed a helicopter with a car.
Very creative writing. It's so ridiculous. Yes. And I would say this is where up until this point it was far-fetched, but all right, whatever. It's, guns, shootouts and all. This is where everything going forward is just chaos. Just ridiculous.
Yeah. But his shit talking to the villain is always the best. That's the best. But whether it's Hans Gruber, Stryker from Buddy Sadler, or I always think Jeremy Irons, right? In the third one?
Jeremy Irons. It's important. I think it's important to have that. Because that's his character, right? His character is a wise guy cop. So you need someone that's able to, have wits with him, to go back and forth. And I think they've picked each villain, each movie have been perfect.
Yeah. So he picks up the walkie-talkie. Nope, they didn't make it. So,
you know what? Okay. So here's another question I have. Somehow they always have a connection. They have a direct connection to the FBI office, to the guy on the phone, and the bad guy. They know their numbers. How do they connect? Because he literally calls the FBI guy multiple times. They never exchange numbers. They never. How does he know how to reach them? And even the villain. How throughout the movie he reaches out to him many times.
Maybe they edited that scene out. Okay, what's your number? Did you say 7? 7? You're breaking up 7. He's right in.
And speaking of which, I didn't know this, and there's 2 versions of this movie. There's a PG-13 version and a rated R version.
Oh my god, I probably watched PG-13 because I watched on Disney, and I think our account for some reason doesn't have rated R movies on it.
Does he say yippee-ki-yay in this movie? That you saw?
I don't think so.
He says it in the rated R version. So you watched the wrong one. At the end. Near the end.
Oh, or maybe I just
you watch. No, I mean, it's got. I mean, you know what? Because I again, I have it on Apollo, and I mean, it was bloody, it was cursing. Your version probably didn't have any cursing. You had the PG-13 version, I bet you.
I think so. Oh, so that's how yours is 2:15. Mine was 2 hours and 8 minutes.
Oh, see, just it was an extra 9 minutes or 7 minutes of cursing.
Nice. Yeah, I like it. So now they're going to a police station because they want to go to the nearest police station. It's chaotic, and then that's when Justin Long, Farrell's like, "I'm in. It's working. Their plan of chaos." And then at the same time, Maggie Q, all right, we see her getting undercover for the FBI, which is cool, plausible, right? She's an outfit on, fake badge.
Wait, plausible?
At this point, I'm saying she's just wearing an outfit. Oh. It's like you or I pretending to be somebody. The fact that they have an FBI helicopter that could somehow land, just because it has 3 letters on your helicopter, hey, they're good.
There's no security anywhere. They're able to infiltrate every, ridiculous. I mean, And again, where is everybody? Because it looked like there's only like a handful of FBI people working this disaster that's going on.
Yeah.
No one else is around.
Nope, no one at all. So they get in so easy. They make quick work when they get there of killing all the people at the pipeline. Like it's super simple for them to get there. And
they killed them what kind of training did the FBI people have? Because like
the one guy was terrible. Yeah.
There was no struggle though. There was no struggle in any of this.
Maybe they think like the gas line is in an important place, so they put like the worst guys there. So one guy gets headbutted. The one guy coming up the stairs gets shot right away. The guy that gets headbutted like just stands up to pull his gun out and he gets shot. What a way to go. You already get embarrassed by like letting them land. You get knocked out to the ground. You get up.
But it was only later on in the movie, there's like one person at the computer. That was when Maggie Q got there. Where is everybody? He's the only one that was left behind to guard. Like he wasn't even he looked like a computer tech guy. He didn't even look like an FBI guy.
And it looks so important. So many gadgets and so many buttons and stuff. They're giving one guy working like all the pipeline. I mean, it seemed like it was like all the pipelines in the United States, just how large that map was and everything. But again, the old guy, young guy, like jokes with the cell phones when he's telling about like, they're going to track you with the cell phone. And he smashes the phone. And then he goes, oh, well, I was just going to like put a different chip in. And then he takes a stranger's phone. And you're right. And he dials the FBI guy.
Okay. Right. From the stranger's phone.
Yeah.
So, okay. Let's just say, for argument's sakes, that he had his own cell phone and he just did redial. Okay. Now he's got a stranger's phone, which, by the way, he goes up to a stranger, says, I need this, and walks away. The stranger doesn't do anything. He's like, okay. Like, he didn't put up like, if someone walked up to you and grabbed your phone, you're not going to chase after him?
If they were bloody and they had like, I'd be like, you know what? I got insurance.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's true. Like, you know what? Yeah, he's like dripping, like he's all over his face. You probably need this more than I do. You're right.
Yeah, but here you go. Yeah, you're calling the FBI? Sure you are. Here you go.
That's true. But okay, you're right. So he's on a stranger's phone and he's able, he memorized the FBI. I don't even know like my kids' phone numbers because I just have their name in there. Like I don't know their number. Right.
Yeah.
So you're going to tell me he memorized the number to his cell phone? It was the FBI's director's cell phone. It wasn't even the FBI where it's going to the secretary, the transfer. It was to his own cell phone.
Oh, man. And always on the phone, and that's when the agents get tricked by a video. There's a fake video of the White House exploding. And they all run outside to look at it because they're right down the street. And they're like, oh, thank God.
So, I mean, like, the planning to make a fake video of that and all, like, it's just ridiculous that they're able to put on so everybody in the world sees this video. Because even Bruce Willis started running, like as you saw it on TV. Like, it's ridiculous.
It was ridiculous. Is that ridiculous? Or do you have a company, OnStar, who I'm sure would not, why couldn't they make up a fake name? It made it sound like, hey, you can just break into a car, lie and say somebody's having a heart attack. And then when you get caught in that lie, when you can't verify the name, you just say, come on, please, I really need this car right now.
The second he paused, what's my name? What's my dad's name? And he paused both times and he fumbled. Took him, they're not going to notice that. Ridiculous. And again, that scene seemed like it went on forever. Like
there was a lot of the dialogue scenes.
That's what I mean. And so that's part of why it's like the movie's so long. Like it literally, like they were trying to prove the point that he's trying to, show how conniving he is and tricking, but like it went on way longer than it should, that he had a fumble in the glove compartment looking for the identification card or whatever. And it just dragged. Like it wasn't funny. Like, maybe the first 5 seconds it was like, all right, creative. And then it just was like, all right, it's lame.
Yeah, it was just, all right, is it over yet? Can we get to the next scene? Like having a few lines, even when they were driving in traffic, like I get they want to let us know about, oh man, this is the plan, the traffic, this is part of the fire sale, blah, 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 blah. But it just seemed like it was so much of it. And just get to like fighting, like when he finally gets to the power grid, after he has like a heart-to-heart about his wife changing in her last name, and not having a good relationship with his kids, and it was just like, okay, we know that. That's why we're here. We're here because you're a terrible dad, but you kill terrorists, you know?
Absolutely.
But it's like, so Maggie Q, when they somehow sneak up on Maggie Q, how does that happen? They have cameras all throughout in that command center at the pipeline. Somehow they see them. They're able to take out bad guys, McClane and Farrell, and then sneak up on Maggie Q. Like, they only send 3 people. Well, they sent 3 people. One of them was killed. He killed the one guy he beat the crap out of him in the stairwell.
He did, but like, how do they know exactly where to go? Like, throughout this movie, their sense of direction, without having like, you know exactly which FBI location that they needed to go to. There's no directions. There's no address. Like, throughout the movie, they find their way around. I mean, once in the building, Bruce Willis somehow knows what floor, what room, on everywhere he is. He knows where to go every single time. Like, I don't think if I drove to DC right now, I don't know if I could find the FBI building. And even if I did, I'm sure there's more than one section. I wouldn't go to the right place. Like, how do they know where to go?
I don't know. Yeah, there's no directory like the mall. I'm sure there's not a directory when you get to the pipeline. Here's how you shut off the pipeline. Here's how you do this.
And let's be honest, Bruce Willis does not have a chance against Maggie Q. Her, like, you know, like he's a street fighter. You know, he's a cop. He's not handling the stuff that she's doing. Like, ridiculous. Although I do like when
that's enough of the kung fu.
I'll say he pulls like a Hulk Hogan. Like, he's down and then he gets right back up.
Yeah, they have a good battle, dude. And then the car,
they do have a good battle,
really
and like
good battle.
You don't see that too often in movies where, like, you know, a guy's punching a woman, right? Like, you know, like this is a fight, and like it's like, I mean, it's a fair fight. Like, it was back and forth. Like, it was brutal.
That is rare. Like, if you really think about it, the only one I can think of off the top of my head that's a really good fight is Transporter 2. Statham fights that girl, that badass henchman, like the short, like orangish hair. But yeah, you don't see that too often. Yeah,
Kill Bill,
dude, she's good.
Kill Bill with
that's
Michael
true. Yeah,
Michael Madsen.
That makes. Mm-hmm.
But you know, right? You know, but even like those, like, this is like punching. Like, this is like tackling.
Yeah.
He threw her against the wall. Like, I mean, like, he was like, you know, like, so no, this was probably the best scene in the movie, I think.
Yeah,
it was just a good
when
battle.
She wakes up and McClane is talking to Farrell.
Good.
And it's like he's very kind of like casual. Again, this crazy thing just happened, me fighting this girl. She wakes up and kicks him out of a window.
Okay. First of all, why did he tie her up?
I don't know.
Like if you're not going to kill her, this woman, like, is obviously lethal. So if you're not going to kill her, you're just going to let her sleep. You know, like, you knocked her out and just wait for her to wake up when you're not paying attention, because he's not even looking at her. You know, but yes, he gets kicked out of a window that it looked like at least 3 stories.
Oh my God, yeah.
and he gets right back up.
Yeah, and he finds somehow he finds a car, and somehow a car can get to that level.
Okay. Not only can it get to that level, how much room on that office floor did that car have to drive around? Like, I mean, like, and there's a point where it's literally going down like it's like going to like a driveway. It was like a long hallway. Like, you know, like that. My guess is they have a lot of cubicles and stuff. Like, there's no way a car is fitting in an office. I don't think I've ever been to an office that has enough room to have a car fit.
No, never.
And you're telling me the office that he was just in there with Maggie Q happens to have a connection right to the garage?
Yeah, I know. He crushes her right. He drives right through, crushes her into the elevator shaft. The car fits in there.
He hits her hard enough that she lands on top of the car and holds on.
Yeah, but how is a car fit in an elevator shaft?
Again, so in this office floor, there's an elevator and room for a car to drive around.
Yeah, a giant elevator, not like a normal elevator like every other building. This one is car could fit.
It's like a warehouse elevator. It's like definitely not a person elevator.
Oh my God, dude! But that thing's wild. Like, even the fact that he's able to, like, when he gets tossed down, he starts climbing back up on the car. It's like, geez, man, like, really, really cool scene. Like, I like how it ended, like, with Long being the hero.
It's cool. It's ridiculous. It's far-fetched, but it's again, it's an action movie, right? So it's all right. He's hanging on with two arms like Donkey Kong. He's like kicking her as he's not holding on that long. I mean, his grip is not able to. I mean, she punches him while he's on the, holding onto the wires. I mean, and when it eventually does fall, like he's holding on. How's he climbing up that wire? Like he's got enough strength at that point, because there's only one wire at that point because the other one snapped. He's got enough strength to get up there, like a superhero.
Now I know Maggie Q's hot. So did she cause the explosion, or did that?
Oh my God!
Did the car carry jet fuel like Bronson's girlfriend in Death Wish 3? Like, that was such a big explosion. It was like
huge.
Really?
I thought it was going to go all the way up. Like that, and like
yeah.
So like that, because that happens in every elevator fall. It's a big crash. I like how the other guy, the henchman, came over, and ended up down, falling all the way down.
Farrell saved the day.
Yeah.
Watch out, McClane. That was good. I like that one. And then Justin Long pulls out his keyboard, which I don't know how many times he's done it, but it's just so silly the way he rolls it out. But he's like barely typing, and the computer's doing a million things. Because this is when he's sending all the spam to the other guy's ad. It's like free new girls, and like all these different ads are popping up. And McClane's line when he answers the phone, and he's like, "Where's I forget her name. Where's Maggie Q?" And he's like, "Last time I saw her, she was at the bottom of an elevator shaft with an SUV up her ass."
Well, I mean, some of the ribs he does to Oliphant about her, like she was pretty hot and all
it's
this.
Rough.
Like,
it's pretty rough.
He was digging into it. I mean, like, again, like, so if to be like, for a villain, you just lost your wife, girlfriend, whatever. You have his daughter. He doesn't want to hurt her.
Kill her.
Like, he really,
yeah, I know. Why would he have
once.
done that? Right?
Something. Like, he does hit her once, but which again, we're gonna talk about the daughter later on also, which is ridiculous. But like, I mean, like, I would think something like her, like I said, hurt her somehow, just to like say, hey, you hurt my love, I'm gonna hurt yours. Like nothing.
Yeah, nothing at all. Like, the only thing he does is kind of let her be, because when she beats the crap out of the other Jack henchman, he's like, "Are you handling this?"
Well, he does. He said that a few times with her about it, because like she's like the one his right hand man struggles with her multiple times, and which I'm surprised he didn't end up killing her, because like he literally struggled with her multiple times.
Yeah,
so,
but that it makes it sweeter with the jokes that he's doing about Maggie Q, that he relishes in it later with the daughter over the phone. Like, that makes it even like more evil. But now he's pissed, like you said. That's why he's the main guy, in the other, his main computer hacker henchman isn't in this villain role, because he's like, man, we're gonna get the gas, send it all there. And Farrell's like, oh my God, this is wrong, right? Oh my God, it's coming towards us. And they see the explosion. How?
Okay. But are they on the same, like, are they mirroring each other's computers? Like it seemed ridiculous that Long was able to see exactly what's going on with the gas lines. Like, how did he know what that was? First of all, how did he even know what that was? Like,
that's true. I guess because they're at a pipeline thing, and it just showed the arrows. It looked like a corny video game. Like, we're in this
Missile Command.
Exactly. It looks so corny. It's like beep, 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 beep.
So you're telling me, like, in reality, if that was real gas lines, you're going to see like a cartoon fireball slowly moving closer. That's what you see on the screen. Like, you see 5 fireballs slowly. Like, so that's really just to let you know, it's really a fire going to explode. Like, like, I don't think it's really like that. I think you might have lights. You might have like a danger sign. I don't know if you're going to see a cartoon fireball.
But somehow they survive. They get out. Now they're going to start shutting down the power.
How do they get out? They hide in a van. And the only van that does not get destroyed is the one they're in. Everything else blows up, is on fire, yet the van they're hiding in is okay.
That's insane. How do they even put that in? Again, some of these things to be avoided. It was almost like they knew, like, it's McClane. Let's do whatever.
Jump out the window. I'd rather see him jump 3 stories again. I mean, he already did it once. He might as well do it again.
Yeah.
Than to hide in a car when there's other cars in the parking lot. They all exploded or whatever. That was the only one that was safe. Protected them.
Oh my God, man. So then right after this is, good joke after this. I do like this because he goes, cell phones are out. Oh my God, they made the satellites fall out of the sky. And then Farrell's like, no, dead battery. So again, the old, young jokes back
Yeah,
and forth.
I know. Which is so dumb. So dumb.
Jesus Christ.
But this is where... Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was saying, before they go to the helicopter, just because I wanted to look it up, like, how well do you think this movie did? The budget was $110 million.
I'm going to say, because it is Die Hard, and Die Hard 3 was, I think, a success, $200 million.
It did just in the United States. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Total, $388 in the North America. It actually did double in Canada. It did $134 here. And it opened, this movie actually came out at the right time. It came out just before 4th of July, the weekend before.
Oh, well, all the explosions is perfect. So, yeah. But I would think it did well. Now, I would say 5 probably did not do as well, right? Because I think
we saw it for free on a Tuesday with our Cablevision free movie ticket.
We did. But my guess is, though, because, like, again, the first 3 were great. I think 3 I like better than 2. I think 3 is better than 2. And it did well. So I think people were excited to see another Die Hard. But then after this one, they realized, all right, this is, it's going to be far-fetched again. I can't, and I bet you it did worse. So, but anyway.
Yeah, because because the other one went with the son versus the daughter.
Yeah,
again, the son, great actor. Like we talked about him when we did that Terminator Genesis.
Is that the one he keeps saying he's on vacation?
Yeah, I'm on vacation, and all the guys are walking in front of his bullets.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, we saw that in the movie there. Yeah. Real quick before they go to the next one, this one, even that one did good. That one did 304. Oh, really? In North America. Oh no, in North America it only did 67 million.
Okay,
but in the rest of the world, it did 237.
Yeah, so but they don't know good movies around the world. I mean, what other action movies? I mean, really? Because between Korea, India, they all have action movies. So yeah. But yeah, the budget,
the budget was shockingly, for 6 years later, the budget was smaller.
Well, but I don't remember the
Russia.
movie, but everything's cheap.
It was another country, so they could a lot cheaper to film there. This one was filmed in the States, like sort of, I guess, probably near DC area, but
right.
But yeah, so they are trying to figure out how to get to the Warlock's house. So they see a helicopter.
There's so many problems with this. First of all, he knows how to fly a helicopter.
Well, remember what he says? Yeah, I took lessons. And he's like,
I know.
He's like, enough to get your license? No.
Yeah,
and he's very vague.
And he didn't take lessons. I mean, let's be honest.
Which is even, we know that, which is crazy. We're like, this guy really risked his life, man.
Yeah. And not only that, he literally he started switching the switches on top like he knew what he was doing. There's no way he knew anything. Like, I get, like, first of all, they should have had the helicopter, like, start the way that he flew it perfectly. But it should have been like going up, going down, going up and going down. Like, it should have made it look like someone driving a stick shift for the first time. Like, that's how the helicopter should have went. But yes, he's never flown before, but somehow he did it fine and he knew which switches to switch. But where did the Warlock live? Because it was obviously far enough that he didn't want to drive, so he wanted to get there quicker with the helicopter. So he knew what direction and how to get there from the sky.
That's insane.
From the sky.
No satellites, so they couldn't use GPS. It was more just let's go north or let's go west. Let's go east. That's it.
Yeah.
I know.
If you put me in a helicopter at night and say, all right, drive to Florida, I don't know if I could find it. Yeah. Like, I don't think I could find it. Like, it's going to be very difficult. Like, and just ridiculous. And what? How do I know what house this is? Oh, they're the one with the lights on. Really? Like, so he was able to go to one neighborhood right over where the house is that has the lights on.
And it's not even like the house is by itself to make it like stand out. It was like part of like a townhouse or like a brownstone. It was like a little house, a little bit of electricity on the outside. It was like, what a weird like
it's so
thing,
stupid.
But
I mean,
yeah,
there's no way he was finding that house without directions. No way.
Now, do you think this is how Farrell really met him? Was that we're friends with Freddie from Space Camp. That mom is definitely on a lot of drugs or something.
Oh my gosh.
With her. She's like, okay, your friends from Space Camp are here.
Well, I mean, considering that, look how old Bruce Willis is. I mean, she literally, like, she can't be clueless what her son does in the basement. I mean, with all the equipment and everything. And she just
wait. What do you mean that he has a lair? You know how high the ceilings are? It is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles like sewer lair.
It is a lair. It's the Warlock's lair.
It's
but she literally lets them out down there instead of waiting to, like, you would think, like, all right, wait here. Let me go downstairs and tell my son I got two strangers at the door. No, she just lets him walk right down there. I was shocked to see Kevin Smith, though. It was pretty funny. Like, I was not expecting that.
Like, good back and forth with him. I love when he's like trying to touch everything, and I love when he's like, all right, let me be kind of, yeah.
I was gonna say, don't forget, he did that at Justin Long's house too. Is this arm supposed to come off? No. Like, so he's like a 5-year-old. Like, everywhere he goes, he has to touch it. Like, why is he got to touch everything? Yes. Like, if you went to someone's house that had, like, model ships and like all these like little things, are you touching any of it? I would not touch anything he's touching, like, things that clearly that are probably expensive, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't care.
And whoever wrote this movie knew the perfect line to like jab at Star Wars fans when it's like, he's like trying to be cool. All right. Are you a fan of the Fett? No, I'm more of a Star Wars guy. And he's like, he gets like, it looks like he's about to die or murder him. That was a funny scene. The sound that came out of his mouth.
Well, and his face. And his face. Like, we've touched this. I think those. Well, I would throw Lord of the Rings in there. So you throw the Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, and Star Trek. Like, you don't mess around with those fans. Throw even Harry Potter in there. I mean, like, like those diehard fans. You mess around, like you're asking for trouble. Like they can't handle it. It's
man. And then at the same time, we find out that Oliphant found McClane's daughter. So they finally beg Freddie to hack in, and then boom, Oliphant pops up on the screen.
How'd they find his daughter? Because all the cell phones are shut down. She's in an elevator. How'd they find her?
Did he just turn on that one cell phone tower so it only worked for her? That is true. That was silly. How'd he contact her?
And they knew which tower? Like, and I don't think I've ever been in an elevator that has a camera that's out there like that. Like, it literally had one of those security cameras. What kind of elevator is she in that they need a security camera like that, that they can hack into? But again, how they find the daughter, like, I mean, like, everything shut down because Justin Long's phone wasn't working, even with the battery. Like, he had no signal. Everything was shut down. There's no way they should have been able to find her.
Yeah. Oh, man, dude. Right. And this is where right away he starts talking with smack. Like, when he pops up on the screen and he says, oh, yeah, I'm talking to your daughter, and like shows somehow, like, he's able to hack into there and show his screen and show everything he's doing, see him, like, in these weird boxes, not like perfect squares or anything like that. And dude, just the lines that he's already like, wow, he has my daughter, I gotta be cool. And he says a line about like, oh yeah, how's your dead girlfriend?
He does. No,
like, wow, dude.
So, okay, so let me ask you this question again. Here's another question.
Yeah.
What was he talking to Bruce Willis? What was Bruce Willis like? What, was he on a laptop? Was he on a computer? Like, did he have a webcam?
That was like a hacker computer because that giant the screen was and everything. I hope there was a webcam because he was able to see him somehow.
I'm just saying, like, I'm just thinking, like, would
a hacker have a camera? Why would a hacker have a camera? What are the chances of you getting?
Right.
What are you using it
Of
for?
course.
You're never showing your face.
Not only that, it could get hacked, so you probably wouldn't have it. So I mean, that would be funny if like Timothy like starts talking smack and showing videos, and then Bruce Willis goes, "Sorry, I don't have a webcam. I have no idea what you're talking about."
Yeah, that'd be funny. You're not sharing your screen.
Well, you got to move the camera. You're covering the lens. I can't see you.
But dude, when he's like doing the conversation with her, the dumbest thing ever happens. He says to her again, he's supposed to be 911, ma'am, we're gonna get somebody out to you, and if it takes too long, I'll come out there myself. And then he looks at McClane, looks away at the daughter and says, is there anybody that you'd want us to notify to let them know you're safe? She says, my dad, John McClane, is a New York detective. And his reply was, oh, great. We'll make sure that we get in contact with him. Will you ask for the number? Like, you're thinking in a situation like this, chaos is happening, the power's down. You think the 911 operator wouldn't ask, like, oh, what's the best number to find him on? Because, we have emergencies going on. She's smart in this movie, right? She knows, like, when things are off, that isn't, like, a huge red flag. Come on. Weird. Who do you want us to contact? Oh, yeah, my grandpa. Okay, bye.
She thinks we're gonna contact her grandfather.
What a moron! This lady knows nothing. But yeah, dude, when he looks back at the camera after he gets off the phone and he looks at Bruce Willis and he goes, "Great daughter, I can't wait to meet her." I'm like, oh.
and he's got that look to him. He's got that creepy look.
He plays it good. He has the eyes.
He really does. He really does. So no, that's awesome.
Oh man. But no, you know what he said? And then after that, when he's pissed off, McClane says back to him, now, because he says, now I have to, because he's getting ready to leave right away. As soon as the webcam shuts down, he's like, you're ready to walk out of Freddy's lair. And he goes, now I'm going to go kill him and get my daughter. So again, his daughter should be first. Like, if he arrived in this situation and his daughter was like, oh my God, she's free. I can take her and we can leave. No, I'm going to kill this guy no matter what. Like, it's not like, let me save my daughter, and then that's the most important thing, and whatever else happens, I got to kill this dude. No, I got my daughter.
Well, we know his priorities are never really the right order. But here's another question. So, like, they're at Woodlawn, right? Is it Woodlawn?
Yeah.
Okay, a secret hideout, for all that stuff where even the director of FBI doesn't know about.
Well, he's the deputy. The guy is the deputy. That's when he goes, it's above your pay grade.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
How does Bruce Willis know how to get there?
I don't know.
I mean, like, this is a top secret, and he knows exactly where to go. Like, again, and no one's on the road. Again, they drive right there.
Easy. He just starts driving, and he's on his way, and then right away the other FBI guys, the fake FBI guys, because she looks at the badge. She asks for the badge and says, I'm sorry, my dad's a cop.
Well, I mean, that was smart.
Yeah.
But how long did it take him to get there? Because that's why they took the helicopter to Warlocks, because it was too far to drive. But then they end up driving back.
Oh, that is true. Yeah, why did they take it back? Oh, we only had enough fuel for one trip?
No, it was remember it hit the fence when he landed.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah. Oh, yeah, they had a rough landing. Yeah.
But, I mean, so it had to take a long time to get, yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, he drove, like I said, he drove back. There were no lights on the car, which I don't know why it's almost, because everything else is all pitch black. Did they make the movie like, oh, so it must affect the lights in the car also? Because the lights weren't on.
Yeah. The power grid is connected to the lights in the car.
Because, I mean, I was asking why he did that, but, like, the fact that, how did he find out where it is? This is top secret. Even if the hackers knew about this place because they hacked into it, there's no address.
Yeah.
They're able to get into the software, but it's not going to tell them where it is.
And they're, like, putting in, like, the floppy disk. But one thing we didn't mention before is we find out his motive, right? So he was, like, an employee of the NSA, Oliphant. And there was, like, some issue with something. He was a whistleblower. And they, like, kind of, that gets you that angry that you're going to steal the financial data. Like when the guy in the next scene that we're about to talk about anyway, when the director is like, yeah, this is where, and Tim Russ, our buddy Tim Russ is in the scene too, when it's like, oh yeah, when the power grid and everything shuts down, we have it set up that all the financial data in America goes to these 3 servers. And, and they're like, what he could do? He can go in there, take out $10 million, and nobody would even know. And it's like, what is he going to do with it? Because if would they be able to figure out, like, hey, one account's missing 10 million? There has to be some kind of record keeping.
Not only one's missing 10 million, but one just gained 10 million.
Yeah, exactly. So what would he transfer it to? Another bank? How would he take it out? I don't understand it.
He takes it out of cash.
Exactly. He's a 120. But it just made no sense. The fact that it's like, okay, it's all on this server. It's not helpful information. You have the bank account information. Where are you going to get the money from?
I think this movie tried to be smarter than for its own good, right? Because again, there's so many like loopholes of like, again, about him able to fly to exact spot where like things like that. Like I think throughout the movie, they were just, I don't think they were thinking like it's the little details that should be obvious. I just think they were trying to just show how smart they are with all this hacking stuff and everything else, and just forgetting the small details. Because there's a lot of them, in the movie
miss a lot.
that really there's no way should happen. So
yeah.
I
do love the next time we see the daughter is like she was like, oh, I'm gonna go to the FBI, and it was fine. But I'm sure she was probably like, yeah, I'm gonna go now. And then, but when they walk in the room and it's like this bitch is a handful, and smacks her in the face. You're like, whoa.
Okay, and I get she's got a tough father, but when she says, why don't you meet me outside to Timothy Olyphant? I mean, come on, like you're surrounded by 5 adult men with guns, and you think you can have a chance about this guy if you meet him outside? Like, I mean, ridiculous.
That was pretty funny. She's pretty badass. She's a great actress. Like I feel like this is like one of her early roles, and then she was on that Cloverfield. The one in the bunker and like a bunch of other stuff after this.
No, she played, it's funny. I think it's so many of these, especially in like these like 80s. I think it was Bruce Willis a lot, but Steven Seagal, they always have that like bratty young daughter.
Yep.
Like Last Boy Scout, like
Catherine Hagel in Under Siege.
Under Siege. Yep. Like they always have this bratty kind of thing, and then at the end, they have some kind of skill that they learned from the person they hate the most. But she from this point on though, you could tell like, it's all about her dad. Right. And it's the fact that she wanted to call her. Like, I was surprised that I was waiting for her to say, can you contact my mom? So then Timothy Olyphant could throw it in his face. Oh, she doesn't even care about you. Like she's going to, but the fact that she said their dad, like now it's like, all right, now that's my daughter kind of thing.
Again, she knows Pony for my 7th birthday. He's not going to even be there. Terrorist, my dad. I'll use my mom if it was like a phone a friend on Millionaire, but for this, I'll use my dad because of his skills.
And you know what? She takes a couple punches. She got punched a few times. Yeah. So and she's calm the whole time. Like really, like And again, I blame the villains. Like she didn't feel that threatened. She should have like. Justin Long was still crapping his pants the entire movie. This girl was like nothing. Like they should have like put a little pressure on her. Like she knew like they weren't touching her, and that's like I'm surprised.
Yeah, it was like there was no advantage to keep her alive. It's not like McClane had something that was Oliphant's,
Right?
Like if he had like a debt, if he had like some kind of like codes or something,
they needed from him, right? So bargaining, they need something to bargain. Nothing. Correct. Yeah. So it made no sense.
What an evil next scene when the main hacker, he's like, I gotta go. And they're like, oh, you have to go now? Charlie Day's uncle on Always Sunny. And as soon as they walk out, they kill all of them. That was rough.
Yeah.
What a way to go.
Yeah.
They're really covering up their tracks. They killed all the other hackers. They killed what you thought was like hackers that they were cool with. Nope, they don't care.
Killed all the FBI that was out there. Like they literally killed everybody. Like Yeah.
Okay. So now they know where they're at. and they get there super quick, like you talked about before. And then somehow they get in there so easy. They get into places so easy. There's not enough bad guys. They have bad guys left. There's not enough to cover all the entrances.
But what do you think the doors would be locked, like on the outside? Like, there's no way anyone drive. I mean, unless because they shut the powers down, the alarms and everything else, the door locks are done. Like, I still think they would be locked. Like, they don't even have like, regardless if you need a key, like a key or something. But there's no little latch for any of the doors. Like, it's like they're able to walk into any door to get to where they need to go. And again, know exactly where to go. Exactly.
Yeah. Everywhere in this movie. Again, I know as a movie watchers and sequel lovers, it's like we get it. Like, you get into a place, it would be a bad movie if they were like, oh, is it this hallway? Oh, I was already in this door.
No, but
you know what? It's too good.
What they should have done, Warlock should have printed out some kind of blueprint of the place because he's a hacker and say, all right, they're probably holding, this is where the computer mainframe is. This is where you got to go. Fine. Like that. Now they have something to go on. The fact that they just know exactly where this is the FBI. Like, I'm sure there's multiple rooms, and yeah, I don't know. I think they left off so many small little details that would just make it a little less unbelievable.
Yeah, just tighten it up a little bit. But like even in this part, like they go into the room that like it looks like the movie Tron. There's like in this room like a ton of electronics in it, and then somehow they're able to the alarms are going off at Woodlawn. That's how they're able to get in there, right? Because this is the point. I think this is when the hackers are like transporting and taking over the area.
Yep.
Right? Or they weren't already there yet, right? This is the part when they take it over because they get everybody to get out of there by setting off the alarms.
Wait a second. Did we already miss the whole helicopter truck scene?
Nah. How we skipped that?
We skipped the most ridiculous scene in the movie.
No, that happens after this.
No, it doesn't. This is where the ice room is, isn't it? This is the end of the movie.
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm going in the order of my notes.
Okay.
I hope so.
All right. I thought we missed
I thought it's like because this is when they finally take over the financial data. So this point is where is it? Oh yeah. This is Justin Long sneaks into the server room, gets caught. That happens all after it.
Oh, you're right? Because they're in the truck. They're in the other car.
All this happens, and then that's when he has that dumb fight. Like
you're right. Okay.
McClane's able to talk to his daughter. Farrell's caught at the same time, and McClane's daughter, what does she say? Like, yeah, there's only 5 of them left. Like, she's able to like spit that out, and this is where we get that dumb friggin' battle. Inside the ice room. It was a frozen room with blades on the floor.
And the way the guy would jump around, and then he drops down, like instead of like climbing down, you see him drop down, holding on to grab the gun. He swings back up. Like, what person does that? Like, no one does that. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like, it was just so stupid.
And a shame on the deputy director that knew Oliphant and knew like who he was. That once they knew, God, it's him. Why wouldn't they have gone there first? This is like this. Oh yeah, why would he? Oh yeah, well this is his project. It's like, oh really? So like, why wouldn't this be the first place you guys look? No.
And why is it taking for them forever? Like somehow Bruce Willis is able to get there on time every single time.
Sure, yeah.
But the FBI can't, get there. The military can't do a super jet or something to get them there fast. Like nothing. Like they show up. Really, they've done nothing the entire movie.
And they've never seen Oliphant. McClane's seen him on the on screen multiple times, but like with the government, he sends like all those videos. Like the first one he sent was like the president's mashup, like saying one word, like the message they're trying to get across. But yeah, dude, that ice room, he like that other guy that was climbing around like a monkey, and the parkour guy earlier, he is like flipping around, kicking like McClane's down. And this guy's still doing the crazy flips. And it was just silly.
For what reason? I mean, outside of the fact that Oliphant said, if you get rid of him, I'll give you the other guy's share. that died.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Yeah.
But still, like you're right. Bruce Willis is down. You're still gonna do the monkey flips and act like Tarzan, like you know, like it was just so ridiculous. I mean, what a way to go, though. What was that? Okay, what was that? Because it looked like the most dangerous.
The only thing I would think it would be, but again, I think it's the only plausible thing in my mind would be that if it was like for chopping up like cows. There's no other. No, I'm being honest. What other reason would there be floor blades?
Okay. First of all, the one thing you could come up with is chopping cows.
Yeah, because it was frozen in there. You have frozen meat, not like a whole cow. You get the piece of the cow, you throw it in, and it gets chopped up, which is a terrible thing.
It looked like a paper shredder for humans. Like, that's how big it is. Like
a human shredder.
Like, it was a human shredder. It was like in the middle of the room, which made no sense. Like it really, in reality, if that's a real thing, what is it for? Like, I think maybe like breaking metal down, to throw it away or something.
But why
like
is it
something
frozen?
Like that.
There has to be a reason for the frozen. Like, that's part of the factor of the frozen. It's something that keeps something cold, but they have to cut the cold thing. What is it?
Wait, did the FBI office, they're not having cows there. So like,
what's the point of that?
I would like, I almost would like to hear the commentary on that scene so they can mention, what that thing is.
That would be good to find. I'm sure. I don't know. Can you find those online? I don't think you could rent a movie and get DVD commentary, but maybe they have it on YouTube. I'm sure sometimes they put clips like that on there.
I'm sure.
We'll check it out. So after this is when McClane becomes a truck driver. At the same time, the deputy director ended up getting the 4 helicopters he wanted. They're en route, but they're far away. But dude, the amount of, I think at this point, maybe in the traffic jam, innocent people died. The amount of people, the cars that get crushed in this movie that are not cars sitting on the side of the road, cars that are driving, McClane kills a ton of innocent people. And how about when they friggin' jet shoots the bridge and there's cars on it and they're falling off?
Okay, this like whole 15-minute scene is so over the top. Like it's like when you think they can't get any more over the top, something else happens, and then you think they can't get even more, something else happens. I mean, like,
if you thought True Lies, if someone's listening and has never seen this movie, if you saw True Lies and said, "Wow, that's far fetched," well, this movie does hold my beer because I find it hard to believe how crazy it is.
Oh, I find that hard to believe, and I know they're talented pilots. But to control it the way this guy controls that plane, in between the bridges, going around
and walking with it, hovering under, and able to go under bridges, and out of nowhere be like, "I'm going to go sideways." How is it going sideways? There's no side propellers on jets or anything.
Ridiculous. Oh, well, why can't it? I mean, Bruce Willis has a truck that goes on 8 wheels, and
oh my god, dude,
he's able to spin it back onto its wheels. I mean, again, there's probably about 10 ridiculous things that happen in his 15 minutes. And again, that was ridiculous. The fact that he's able to maneuver that big truck the way he's driving it is ridiculous.
Did you ever see a truck go up a hill? You ever see me on the highway and trucks go through the hills and they can barely go? Like the hill to my house, you've been here, like, not crazy, and they go so slow. You're telling me when that thing's on like a 45-degree angle, that's making it up? No way.
Well, first of all, it wasn't. I don't think it was attached. Right, that was the bridge that fell down. So it went
was
off
falling
the top.
Down, yeah,
it was falling down, and I mean, ridiculous. I mean, yeah.
Oh wait, again, what's more ridiculous, that he's doing all of that, the thing's going, flying on the ground, or the fact that it shoots up the entire thing, but only from the middle up. So the pilot was very kind to just cut the thing straight in half, and he's able to duck under it and then survive.
And he's basically out driving the collapsing bridge because give you a and okay. So let's just say this pilot, obviously it's part of the military and thought he was getting military instructions. I don't think they're going to say to shoot where there are tons of civilians around. Like, there's no way.
And miss.
Okay. And if you did it once, all right, you know what? Maybe it's not a good idea. right? To
Yeah.
keep going and to keep like, killing people is like the lawsuits. I mean, ridiculous. So, I mean, that's all unbelievable. But do you think jumping out and landing on top of the plane is believable?
And then the guy getting nervous, right? Because then doesn't it start a fire,
Yes,
right?
but
Then he goes, "I'm gonna eject," and it's like, does this guy like what a meeting he's gonna have with his boss or someone be like, do you guys really? I don't know. They called me. They told me what to do.
and think about, first of all, that's probably not a cheap jet that he's using. It's high tech that he just abandons right there. But like you see this bad guy that you're trying to kill who jump on your plane. How about do like a quick maneuver to get him off?
Yeah, they never do it in cars in movies either. When somebody's in the front of the car, they just
Never.
always just like go left and right. They're really slow. It's like,
Yeah. How about stop
brakes.
short? Stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never do that in high speed chases.
Well, how about when you have a carjack and they're telling you to drive here? They're not wearing seatbelts. Crash into something.
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, something like they never like it's just they just do whatever. But again, seeing him standing on top of the stupid plane, I'm like, this is ridiculous.
It was just really ridiculous.
This whole scene is just out of control.
So McClane tells the deputy director, "I'm going in for Lucy. If I don't make it, make sure you send in the cavalry." And then we just
how about sending the cavalry before I even get there? Like, how about send some help?
Cavalry? Where is it?
Well, they're on their way. They're flying. They're flying. They're on their way.
Yeah.
How far away are they? That they need helicopters that take that long to get there because they're all in the same area. Like
I know
they weren't driving that long, so like they really need. Okay, even if they needed the helicopters, it made it look like they were traveling forever to get there.
Oh my god, man! Insane.
Okay.
And then pretty much at this part of the movie, it's like again, I almost wanted it to be so much better. The ending, I hate it. I really did not like that we got because there's another movie that does this, and I know it's so hard. It's like music. Like there's so many songs that have the same exact like melody and stuff. But I feel like I've seen that too much. And I don't know how many times I've seen it, but the old like, oh, the bad guy. Again, why the hell does the bad guy ever Oliphant's not a gun guy, he's a hacker. Why does he have to like hold him and put the gun next to him? And then you're gonna do that and then let him be able to grab the gun on you?
I mean, okay. I mean, part of me likes. I thought it was a pretty cool idea what he did to get Oliphant. How he shoots him?
Oh no, yeah, he takes the gun and shoots it through himself.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. But you're right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying I feel like I've seen that a few times. But one thing I don't want to skip over is I love when McClane showed up and it was like all business and he shot the guy who survived the whole movie, the nerdy hacker buddy.
Didn't waste any time.
Right. Yeah.
And like enough for nothing, like he was just a nerdy, like he really was the least violent person there. Like he could have spared him, but I think he was just so fed up that he's like, I'm just killing everybody.
So what else happened after this scene? So after he did that,
he does take a beating. I mean, he does take a beating in the scene. Like he got shot.
He's almost
like,
dead.
You know, like
you think he's gonna bleed out under the car?
Yeah, I mean, he's reaching for the gun. Like it looked like he was trying to use the force at one point. He was like reaching, trying to get the gun to cause. You know, you got Justin Long stalling. You know, trying to do what he's got to do. You know, no, I mean, I feel like the end came crashing fast. Everything just happened all at once. You know,
well, they're filming the movie and probably like, oh my god, we're at 2 hours already. We really got to end this so we have enough time for the credits because this is a long action movie.
But okay, so where does the bullet hit Timothy Olyphant? Because
he shoots. It goes through his shoulder to Oliphant's, like maybe his heart. I don't know.
But but that made no sense because his right shoulder is where he got shot because Timothy Olyphant was holding him, and he aimed the gun in his right shoulder, which means it would be Timothy Olyphant's right shoulder.
Yeah.
So why did I kill him?
I don't know.
Okay.
Why did they do the whole Mickey thing from Scream 2? Have him have that second moment to pop up. Because
Right.
it was again, it was really, it just sucked. It was like
rushed. It felt rushed.
Yeah, it just needed to get out of there.
Yeah.
Now, what was something else in the scene? Was there anything else different that might have been the rated R version in the scene?
Well, he says yippee-ki-yay at one point.
Oh, he says it right after? He says it when he grabs the gun?
No, when did he say it? I forget when he's. I'll send you the clip. I forget when he says it, but he does say it. You know, like or maybe he says it on the phone. No, he says it on a phone. I think to him one of the phone calls. He says,
okay.
So I think I know it. I probably
remember
just saying it.
out.
I just don't know where.
This took me 4 days to watch.
It took me 2 days. So
between just the entire night with
I know.
stuff,
But
and
it's
just like I was just not into it. Like there was the second block I think I watched. I was just like, man, this is rough.
And I was worried because, like you said, this is what you remember it being good, and
I loved it.
Like you were excited
Saw
for
the movie theater.
Yeah, and it's so like I didn't remember it, and I'm like, okay, you know. And as I'm watching, I'm like, oh, we're gonna definitely have different takes on this one.
Yeah, no. Again, it's not like I would not say like I wouldn't go out of my way to watch this again, but if it was on somewhere, it's not like it's not enjoyable because it's John McClane. Like the characters, the way it works, it's fine. It's so ridiculous, but man, it's just way over the top.
Well, you know, I think, and I think this goes along with a lot of things, right? I think timing of when you watch movies compared to watching it like down the road, it makes a big difference too, right? When I watched Superman 2 as a kid, it was awesome. Like it really was.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you got Superman fighting the bad guys because the first Superman was boring. Like really, he didn't fight anybody, right? Second one, he's got the 3 bad guys that have the same power. So I thought it was exciting. Watching it again, it's not that good. So when this movie came out, you know, it was how many years after the third one? Like, was it a couple of years after? So like people were excited
12,
to see it?
12.
Okay, 12 years, right? So, you know, people excited to see it. So like you're amped up to see John McClane. So you're not thinking about all this crazy, how far-fetched. You're just thinking like, all right, he's back kind of thing. And then when you look back on it, you're like, all right, why was I excited about this? It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
you know, like, so timing definitely has a lot to do with it. And listen, it's a Die Hard movie, right? You know, if you're a fan of Bruce Willis, you're a fan of Die Hard, it's definitely worth watching once. You know, I think even the 5th one, which is awful, you still got to see it. It's Die Hard, right? You know,
I know, yeah. Like not good. I think I only watched it one time since after we watched it during.
I haven't watched it again. I was the only time I seen it, so I'm sure we're gonna end up doing it at some point. So, but I mean, but that's what it is. Like it's part of the franchise. You have to watch it if you're a fan of Bruce Willis and John McClane. You're gonna watch it. But even if they came out with another one, obviously they wouldn't because of the way he is. But if they did, I'd still watch it. Knowing he's 75 years old, I'm still gonna watch it. Right? You know, like same thing with Lethal Weapon. You know what? The last one got a little off the rails a little bit, but you're still gonna watch it.
100%. Death Wish, man. So, I love the ones. You know, when he gets older. So yeah, no, it's like one of those things. But so that was Live Free and Die Hard. Let's think if there's any. Obviously, this has to be. So you're telling me which one's your favorite out of all of them? So
the first one. I mean, I think. I mean, to me, I would say it would go 1, 3, 2. You know, it's funny. I always thought 2 was like okay, and then when we covered it, I'm like, oh, this is much better than I remember. Like it was the opposite effect. I thought it was better than it, but I just loved like the whole story of 3 was just so unique.
It's cool, yeah.
And it was cool how they did it. And I think again, it wasn't really over the top, and so like it was still like, you know, and again, Samuel Jackson was great. It was just a good. So I think 1, 3, 2, and then. I mean, I would go 4, then 5. But 1 definitely. One.
I agree. Definitely 1. 2, I just loved. Obviously, like the fact that we had a chance to talk to Sadler. Like the only thing with that one that was super disappointing was that the ending. Like there was he didn't really fight a bad guy.
Yeah. No,
like,
I know.
He had gunfights with them, but nothing. It was like that terrible fight on the wing against who just passed away not too long ago. From What's Happening. Remember, was that he was the dad on
Amos?
Yeah,
Amos?
Yeah. Because he's the guy who plays the sergeant in that movie.
Especially since Sadler was doing naked Tai Chi. Like you thought, like that the Tai Chi would come into hand, like some kind of hand-to-hand combat, and it didn't. So
the bet. God, so
yeah,
good.
but one
yeah.
was by far. I mean, you know what? I think one still holds water. It's still a classic. It's again easily a top 10, possibly a top 10 action movie of all time, right? It's it maybe I mean top 10, top 20. I mean, it's in there, without a doubt. So, but they did have 3 good movies in the series, which is
Yeah.
very rare, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I think it definitely, like, if you take 3 and then you go to this one, it's just like I said, they made him a superhero. Like, again, he was still a regular guy in the third one. He got beat
Mhm.
up in the beginning of the movie by the guys, and like, so, like, to me, like, he's so, and then the fifth one, he gets even worse. Like, it just like they took a good character that was just relatable, right? A grumpy cop in the city, kind of thing, to make him a superhero, and that doesn't work.
Yeah, no. Well, just trying to do too much with something
Correct.
that. But yeah, no, you're right. Those first 3 movies, it's really hard with action films, I think, to really nail the 3 movies. Like, again, I love the first 3 Rambo movies, but it's not anywhere near as good as the first 3 Die Hard movies. I don't think any of the action sequels
I
even
don't
come.
know. I don't know.
What?
It's a tough
Are you like
Rambo
John
movies. I
Wick?
mean, no, I'm
No,
talking about
John Wick.
Rambo.
I think Rambo, but again, Rambo 3 is not that good.
No. Rambo 2, I love 2, right? He goes to Vietnam. I
Oh,
mean,
I
that's
love
a
2,
good,
yeah.
yeah. So, like,
Murdoch.
see, I like 2
I'm
better than
coming.
1.
Yeah.
I mean, so, like,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
I thought you said
People
that
don't
the
talk about
Rambo's,
that too much. That's a good one.
what,
Sequels that
2?
are better than the original. 2
Oh,
over 1.
you're right. 2 is definitely. I mean, listen, 1's a great movie,
It is,
great
yeah.
story, but 2 is just badass. Like, it's just
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, and you know what? It's again. I think the '80s did a good job with so many of the action movies: Lethal Weapon, Die Hard, Rambo's. Like, they were Terminator. I mean, like, like, they were able to connect on, like, multiple movies in the same universe. Beverly Hills Cop. The first 2 were great. Third one was second one was pretty good. Third one wasn't that
Oh,
good.
yeah. Second one was really good.
Yeah. So, like, I just think they always now, like, forget about it. Like, it's rare to get a good sequel or 3.
That's
Unless
why
you Police
we
Academy.
like to cover those too. The not good
Unless
ones.
you
But
Police
yeah,
Academy.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Best ever. That's the top 6 films of all time. The first 6 films,
Amazing.
nothing.
Amazing. That's really,
it's unreal. But yeah, so we're continuing, like, we're doing a little family friendly movies. We got some in the pipeline that could be really good for Christmas, or maybe we'll do a little all pass action, depending. But the next sequel that we're going to be covering is a Dennis the Menace Strikes Again, which that should be amazing, because we were looking at the cast before. It has really, like, everyone in it. You have Don Rickles as Mr. Wilson, Betty White as Martha Wilson, you have Carrot Top, George Kennedy, Brian Doyle Murray. So that should be a lot of fun. And for it, we always talked about, when we started this, I always told Jamie, like, I would love to interview everyone that works on a movie set. And there's some jobs you just don't think about. And one was, if you're watching this on video, if not, I'll read it out. The Kindest Cut, volumes 1 and 2, from Hollywood hairstylist Emanuel Millar. Like, unbelievable with him, because I was thinking, oh, he got an hair cutting because he loved doing that, and then he just had the thing open up. But when he started doing that and he was good at it, he thought about right away, I want to be in Hollywood. So he has worked with Tom Hanks, Johnny Depp, Cate Blanchett, Bill Murray. So great stories about that. Cool story. Again, he had a lot of sequels that he worked on, but it was our first. It's not like we owe anybody anything, but to hear Don Rickles' story was really cool. I think Don Rickles in the Mr. Wilson role will be fun. So maybe we'll bring back one of our sequel guests, make him go through that. Nick, if you're listening, and you're up, man. So
it might be too, a lot of fun. It might be too good for him. I'm not sure.
He gets we throw him a bone every so often. He's got Cannonball Run 2. He's got the Munchie movies. So,
I got to tell you, the movie probably sounds awful, from my opinion. However, just to hear the one-liners from Don Rickles.
Oh my God! I hope that's the movie is. It's an hour and 18 minutes. So this is the next week. Next movie is gonna be an hour less. Think about that.
That's amazing.
That is good. But yeah, we'll definitely have a lot to say about it. So don't forget to review, rate, share our podcast. Follow us on all social media at Sequels Only. And don't forget to check out our website, sequelsonly.com. Good night.
Good night.